Welcome to EK15 CLC. My name is Jacob, and today a breaking news that related to 40 million slaves in the world finds new report. Let's start it. The London CNN. More than 40 million people were estimated by the victims of modern slavery in 2016, and 1 in 4 of those were children. Those are the findings of the new report produced by the International Global Organization, known as ILO, an UN agency focusing on labor rights, and the Work Free Foundation, an international NGO working to end modern slavery. As you can see, it is really impossible to know exactly how many people are living in modern slavery, and different studies have produced different estimates. One reason is that modern slavery is hidden crime that's difficult to identify. Another is that different studies use different definition of slavery, with some including forced marriage, for example, and other no. In the past, 2 of the most widely quoted figures have been those produced separately by the ILO and the Work Free Foundation. But this report, called the 2017 Global Estimate of Modern Slavery, marks the first time of the ILO and the Work Free Foundation have collaborated to produce the worldwide slavery figures. Both organizations describe the report as giving the most reliable slavery figures to date, and the researchers say the numbers show that much work is needed to combat the problem. Women and children. According to the report, women and girls accounted for 71% of the slavery victims, including 99% of those in the commercial sex industry and the 84% in the victim of forced marriage. Children made up around 37% forced to marry, as well as 80% of forced labor victims and 21% of victims in sexual exploitation. An estimated 4.1 million people are victims of forced labor imposed by state authorities. They include people made by their state authorities to participate in agriculture or construction work to post-economic development, young military conscripts forced to perform non-military work, and prisoners forced to work without consent at private prisons. And how do they get their numbers? The report combined the data collected from 2012 and 2016 and drew a variety of sources, chiefly national surveys involving interview with more than 71,000 respondents across 48 countries. The forced labor was most prevalent in the Asia and the Pacific region, 4 victims per 1,000 people, and forced marriage were most prevalent in Africa, 4.8 per 1,000, followed by Asia and the Pacific, 2 per 1,000. The last, the child labor. The ILO simultaneously released another report, produced without Work Free Foundation, called the 2017 Global Estimate of Child Labor. It found that there are 152 million children around the world engaged in the child labor, and 73 million of them are in work that directly endangers in their health, safety, and moral development. According to the report, 90% of the children in child labor are in Africa and the Asia and the Pacific regions. In Africa, 20% of the continent children are in child labor, while in the Asia and the Pacific region, 7% are in child labor. More than 2/3 of all children in child labor work on family farms or for family businesses. The report notes that understanding and addressing family reliance on children's labor will therefore be critical to border progress toward ending child labor. It also found that 71%, like 108 million, of all those in child labor work in agriculture, generally in subsistence and commercial farming and livestock herding. The report uses data from 105 national household surveys, covering more than 70% of the world population of children aged 5 to 70 years. The two reports are intended to help towards achieving target 8.5 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, known as SDGs. The SDGs are 17 broad goals to be achieved by 2030 and target 8.5 goals for effective measures to end forced labor, modern slavery, and human trafficking, as well as child labor in all its forms. The SDGs are very much the motivator of this research, said David. It's critical that if you want to end child labor and modern slavery, then you have to have some measurement framework. So we are trying to get a handle on how big the problems are, and so everyone has the information they need to develop responses. So that's the end of the news. Thank you for reading. If you want to listen to more news, subscribe this video and like me. Goodbye.